Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Connor, and it has been some time yet again. You know, life has just been really busy, and being a lawyer takes a lot of my time, and I don't have as much time for reading and filming and editing and all of that. That does not stop the process of buying books. So I have a stack here to show you guys. Let's get to it. First up are a couple of books that I got for our book club, the House Salt Book Club. If you guys don't know, I and a bunch of other booktubers read books together, and we talk about it in live shows, mostly on Sam from Thoughts on Tomes channel. So if you want to see what we're reading and all of that, check out Sam's channel. I'll leave it linked down below. But the first book that we recently did a live show for is To Shape a Dragon's Breath by Monaquil Blackgoose. I apologize for that. This one follows a character named Anakus. At the beginning of the book, she finds a dragon, and it's an incredibly rare type of dragon that hasn't been seen in a very long time. Hi, Bubs. Nook's right here. He's fine. Anakus is a part of the native population of this world. It's set in a very similar world to our own, but it's like historical feeling. Anyway, she has to go to this school to learn how to shape a dragon's breath because dragons have magical powers, and if you don't know how to control your dragon, or at least help it, you know, maintain control, really dangerous things and horrible things can happen. So she has to go into this like school that has a bunch of the colonizer people at it and learn how to control her dragon. If you want to know more of our thoughts on this book, I will leave the link to the live show up in the card symbol and you can check it out. We also talk about The Spear Cuts Through Water. This is a complicated book to describe because it has so many things going on. It really follows two main characters. One is named Kima. He is like a lower down person in this society because he has lost an arm, and that's because it's been cut off for a reason. He is tasked by this woman to deliver an item to a specific person that's like across the globe. The other person you follow is June. June is the grandson of the emperor. At the beginning of the book, June like kidnaps / helps free the empress, and then you follow the story from there. That is so basic. There's so many other things happening other than that. Again, this is not a wrap-up, so if you want to know more of my thoughts on this book, check out that live show or stay tuned to some future wrap-up that hopefully I will be filming. We'll go more into depth on that then. Next up, I picked up Going Solo by Roald Dahl. This is like the second half of his memoir, sort of. I saw a girl on TikTok. I have not journeyed down into creating content on TikTok yet, but I saw this girl talking about a specific passage in this book, and it made me curious and I wanted to check it out, so I picked it up. I had started doing a reading project where I would read the Roald Dahl book, watch the movie adaptation, and then do videos on it. I only did like 2, and then I kind of stopped doing that. So yeah, I wanted to check out that one specific passage in this book, so I picked it up. Next up, Tony gifted me Heatwave by TJ Klune. This is the third book in the Extraordinary series, maybe. In the first book, you follow a character named Nick. He is obsessed with superheroes, and superheroes and supervillains are a fairly recent thing that's happening in Nick's world, and he writes fan fiction about them, and then he meets one of these superpowered people, and the story goes from there. I haven't read the second book yet, but went ahead and got this one so that it's ready to go when I finish it. Tony also picked up Heart Song for me by TJ Klune. I have the self-published versions. They're over there. I don't think you can see them. No, they're out of frame over there. But I really like these editions that they came out with from Tor. So I want to pick up these because they're really pretty and I want to have them. If you guys don't know, this is a part of the Green Creek series, which is an adult romance series, and each book follows a different couple. This one follows a character named Robbie while he's in this wolf pack and, you know, finds a love interest and etc, etc. I do believe I did a book review on this, so I will leave that linked up in the card symbol if you want to check it out. I haven't done a review on the last book in the series yet, but it's been so long since I read the last book, so I probably have to reread it and then do my review on it. But really love this series, so I'm collecting this nice hardcover edition to add to my shelves. Also by TJ Klune, I picked up In the Lives of Puppets. I actually started this one, but I haven't finished it yet because I started it with the audiobook and then I lost the audiobook, so now I've got the physical copy and I can just read it that way. But it follows a character named Vic, and at the beginning of the book, he's living in the middle of the woods with his dad. And his dad is like an inventor, but is also a robot or something like that. And then I believe at some point in the book, the dad gets kidnapped or taken, and he has to, with his found family, save his dad. I think that's what happens, but I'm sure there's other things that are going on other than that. But I've really been enjoying TJ Klune's works that have been published with Tor, like The House in the Cerulean Sea and Under the Whispering Door. And so I want to check it out. We'll see. After that, I have some special editions that I've purchased. If you guys don't know, I'm a huge Michael J. Sullivan fan. I haven't read his books in so long. I really need to pick them up. But as he's publishing books, I have been purchasing them. So he published Ezra Haddon, which is the third book. I should take it out of the slipcase. This is the third book in, I don't even know when you can read this series. The first book is called Nolan, and then the second book, I can't remember the name of it, but this is the third one in that series. I need to catch up on all of the Rhaenyra world books so that I can just continue to read them. I've read the second book in the prequel series that's set like 3,000 years in the past. There are 6, I believe, in that series, so I have to read books 3 through 6, and then I think I can read these books. But these are so beautiful that I was like, I need it in my life, so I bought them. And I have the first 2 sitting on my shelves that are in my bedroom. This will be going on those. Then I also picked up the leather-bound deluxe editions of the original series, the Rhaenyra Revelations, which is Theft of Swords, Rise of Empire, and Heir of Novron. I love this series so much, and so when I saw that there was a Kickstarter to have like deluxe faux leather-bound editions of the original trilogy, well, each book has 2 books in them, but, you know, there's 3 of them. I jumped on it because I love this series so much, so got these as well. Next up, I have this package. Oh, it says Starling House by Alex E. Harrow. This was sent to me by Tor. I'm sure the book came out like 6 months ago or something. Yeah, it came out in October. This one follows a character named Opal. Opal lives in Eden, Kentucky. Can't speak. The town is a really small, dying town. The only thing that it has going for it was that they had some author in the past that wrote some really acclaimed novel and then disappeared. Before that author disappeared, though, this house like showed up. The whole town leaves that house alone, as well as the only surviving heir of this specific author. At the beginning of the book, Opal knows better than to mess with that house because it's haunted or whatever. However, she gets offered a job. I'm assuming Opal is a girl. Her brother. Okay, yeah. Opal's given a job at the beginning of the book, or the opportunity for a job to work with Arthur, which is the descendant of that author. And a bunch of crazy stuff starts happening and weird stuff, and they have to figure it all out. Again, this came out in October, so let me know if you guys have picked it up and read it, what your thoughts were, because I've got a lot of books to read. Next, I picked up Starter Villain by John Scalzi. I have read a lot of books by John Scalzi and really enjoyed almost all of them. I think I enjoyed all of them. So when I saw that he had another book come out, I wanted to pick it up. This one follows a character named Charlie. At the beginning of the book, he's really wanting to open like a cafe or something like that. He is divorced and he lives with his cat, and he just is having a hard time. Then his uncle, Jake, dies and leaves him his business, and now he has like a supervillain business, and all the people are coming after him, and he has to figure it all out. John Scalzi is a really humorous author, so I really enjoy his stories for the humor, and I'm assuming based off of this like cover that the book's going to be funny. We'll see. Next up, I have 3 books by Brandon Sanderson. I had supported the Secret Novel Kickstarter. If you don't know, Brandon Sanderson is an incredibly prolific author. He writes like a bajillion books a year. He did this project where he had 4 standalone novels, and you could support the Kickstarter, and then every few months or something like that, one of the books would show up. Well, because I haven't been filming, I haven't opened them. So I've opened the first one, and that was on my book haul that went up last post. Now, all 3 of the remaining books have come in. First up is The Frugal Wizard's Handbook for Surviving Medieval England. Illustrations by Steve Argyle. I don't really know what it's about, but I'm assuming this one is a little bit more humorous than maybe his other books because of the title, and it's a little ridiculous. If you guys have read this one, let me know what your thoughts were and if I need to prioritize any of these over any of the other books that I need to catch up on. But that was the first one in this tranche of Brandon Sanderson books that I've purchased myself. In the box was this card that explains everything that's in here. There is a bookmark. Nice. Also in the box was this pin. This is for Vasher, which is a character that's set in the Cosmere universe. I'm actually not sure if these secret novels take place in the Cosmere or not. I feel like they don't. but don't quote me on that. Most of Brandon Sanderson's adult works are set in the Cosmere, which is his universe, and all of the different fantasy worlds and everything all relate to each other. And then there was also this sticker, and I have no idea who that is. One down. Again, another mystery box. This was the third of the 4 secret novels. This one is Yumi and the Nightmare Painter. Again, I don't know what these books are about, so if you've read them and you want to let me know what they're about, you can do that, or tell me if they're good or not. I don't know. There's a shiny bookmark in there as well. I also got a pin for Shalon, which is from the Stormlight Archive series. And then there's a sticker as well. Boom. And then secret project number 4, it says Sunlit Man on the packaging. The Sunlit Man by Brandon Sanderson. And this one has black edges on the paper. I'm excited for this one. Again, let me know if you've read them, if you know what they're about, if they're good or not. Leave me all the things down in the comments. The pin that was in that one was for Kaladin. This is also a character from the Stormlight Archive series. Another card that explains what's in the box. There's the sticker. And the bookmark. Boom. These are nice bookmarks. They're like solid. Next up, I picked up The Sun and the Star by Rick Riordan and Mark Oshiro. This follows the son of Hades and the son of Apollo, who are in the Percy Jackson world. I believe you have to wait to read this one until after everything else. If I'm wrong on that, let me know, because I'll pick this book up tomorrow and read it, if I can read it right now without having finished the Trials of Apollo series. This specific edition, though, I got it from Rainbow Crate, which is a book subscription service. I don't actually have a subscription to them, but I kind of keep up with them because I like a lot of the editions that they're putting out. So I picked up this one because I wanted the really pretty cover, and it came with a signed book plate that I can put in the book. And I don't know anything about the story or anything like that, but I love Nico, which is the name of the son of Hades. And I also love Will, which is the son of Apollo. So I'm really excited to read more about them and follow them on whatever adventure they're going to go on. Again, if I can pick this up tomorrow without having finished all the other books, let me know that. I've read the first 2 books of the Trials of Apollo, and I spoiled myself for a death that happens during that series, so I've been putting it off because I don't want to read it, but I have to get to it at some point. Next up, I also picked up Percy Jackson and the Olympians, The Chalice of the Gods, which I'm also pretty sure I cannot read this book until after I finish the Trials of Apollo, but it's another Percy Jackson book. I love that world. I've read everything up until the second book in the Trials of Apollo series that is set within this like demigod world. I've read the Egyptian books, I've read the Norse books. I need to finish the Trials of Apollo so I can read these other books. Another book that I picked up from Rainbow Crate is The Eidolon. I do not know how to say that, by Katie Edwards. This is a novella that is set, oh my gosh, look at the end pages, or the sprayed edges. That is beautiful. This book is set in the same world as his tarot sequence world. I think it's one of the characters that's in that. Oh, look at that. Those are pretty too. This novella, I don't know, is set after the original trilogy is over. So I don't want to read the blurb to spoil myself because I've only read the first 2 books. I've really enjoyed this series. The first book is called The Last Sun. I read that book last year, I believe, and really enjoyed it. So when I saw on Rainbow Crate's Instagram post or something that this book was coming out and they were doing a cool edition of it, I picked it up. They had originally done editions of the original series, and I'm so mad that I missed out on that. Now I've got my finger on the pulse. I'm going to get all the cool editions of the books going forward. I forgot to say what this whole series is about. In the original series, you follow a character who is the last surviving member of the Sun Court. Basically, Atlantis reformed as New Atlantis and came out of hiding, and all of the people in Atlantis were like superpowered beings organized into different courts. So there's like the Sun Court, he has sun related powers. There's this like Love Court, which has like romance, sexy time powers. Then there are, I don't know, there's like the Justice Court, and there's a bunch of different courts, and they will take each other out if they feel like a court is getting too big for their britches or whatever. They'll like attack them. So at the beginning of the first book, you see the Love Court get like annihilated, and he's there trying to rob them. It's a whole thing, but I've really enjoyed it. It's a adult MM fantasy romance situation. So I've really been enjoying those. Want to continue along. I need to read the third book. Next up, I picked up 2 YA romance contemporary books. I picked up If You Change Your Mind and I Like Me Better, both by Robbie Weber. Again, I've been enjoying romance. Not as much contemporary, but I'm going to give them a go and see how I like them. This one has soccer elements as well. Soccer was like my main sport when I was younger. I'm excited to see how these are. I'll let you guys know what I think when I read them. The second to last book that I picked up is Murtaugh by Christopher Paolini. Murtaugh. I've heard it pronounced a couple different ways. This book is giant, but if you guys don't know, Christopher Paolini wrote the very popular YA series Aragon, and I read that book when I was really, really young. I really liked that book when I was a young reader. I read them as they were coming out. So when I heard that there was going to be a whole book dedicated to this character that's from that series, I wanted to check it out. I actually have The Fork, the Witch, and the Worm, which is a novella that came out, and I have no idea where it was. I moved, and I lost it. So I might have to pick that one up again. Again, this one involves dragons, epic fantasy world, etc., etc. This character, again, is a part of that original series, so I wanted to check it out and see what he's up to. It might be a while before I pick this one up because it's intimidating me right now. And the last book in this book haul is Happy Place by Emily Henry. This is a book that I also picked up for book club. We already did the live show for this book as well, so I will leave that linked up in the card symbol as well as down below if you want to check it out. This one follows 6 friends, and they have been taking vacations to one of their family Nantucket homes, summer homes, every so often. They haven't been for a while, and they want to do one last hurrah at this house before the girls' parents sell it. And during the course of this book, you follow these 6 different characters as they are navigating this last hurrah and trying to reconnect with friends they haven't really been speaking to as much or as frequently as they did in the past. Lots of old wounds open up, and just, it's a whole thing. I loved this book. I think I gave it 5 stars. This is not a wrap-up. I gotta stop doing that. But yeah, I picked it up. I'm really excited about the next one that's coming up. That's also going to be a part of the book club reading order. So yeah, Emily Henry. I really have been enjoying her books. So those are all the books that I've picked up in the last 7 months, which is not too bad. If you guys have picked up any books that are exciting and you think I'll like them, let me know those down below. Or if any of these books need to be moved up on the priority list, let me know that as well. Anything else you want me to know, leave it down below, and I will talk to you guys next time.